Welcome everybody, this is Lyndsey with Clarity Couture. I am here today to talk really briefly on the importance of boundaries and being aware of when someone who's probably close to you is infringing on those boundaries. So stay tuned. Why? Because they gaslight. They act like they don't know what they're doing when they know damn well what they're doing to you. They know damn well what they're doing and they enjoy it. That's what they get off on. That's why we don't allow this behavior. That's why we step up to the plate when no one else will step up for us and we say, this is not right. This is narcissistic abuse. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so I was woken up out of a very deep sleep today. My schedule's very different, and this has always been a perk when I lived alone because I was never worried about being woken up by someone else if I were to be in the house with them. So as of recently, I moved back into my country home with my grandfather. He's 76 years old, and as much as he would like to not admit it, there should be someone here. And that's not why I moved back, but it is a big reason as to why I'm still here and why I am not leaving anytime in the foreseeable future. So my grandfather has lived here alone. My family, won't go into too much detail, they are not that far from him. And in the time that I lived away, which was about 2 years, I've been gone for like 2 years. I just came back after 2 years of being away and living in my own place and doing all that stuff. And the time that I was away, I think that maybe they stopped by on their own accord 2 or 3 times. Flash forward to this morning, when I think I went to bed at like a 9:30 this morning, a.m. and I think that I was awoken like 2 hours later by like what sounded like elephants running through the house. And I'm in a house that's like 150 years old. So anything hitting the walls or like me talking over someone else right now, if I'm too loud, can be heard through the floor. So I'm in a really, I don't know where I was traveling astrally, because I was very deep astrally traveling, and I was pulled out of that. And if you are somebody who travels when you're sleeping, we're never actually sleeping, we're doing other things, we're always working. If you're someone who travels astrally, you know how like discombobulating that could be. Like when you're pulled out of the astral plane and it's because of something in the physical here is pulling you out of it, part of you's still there. And so it's like your physical body and your physical three-dimensional self can be reacting, but it's like an autopilot almost. Like it's like you're not really there driving. So I like kind of did one of these, like, what is going on? Because I live alone with my grandfather, and I'm like, if there's banging, something's wrong, right? So I like stumbled downstairs, and there is my cute as hell so cute 2-year-old nephew, Libra, he's a Libra, running back and forth in the kitchen. And now, I haven't really covered this aspect of things in this channel. I've talked about a bit about it in my last channel, and I'll actually link the video somewhere in here. If it's not linked in here during my talking, it'll be at the end. But basically, I was raised by a narcissist, and a lot of empaths were, and that was part of our path that we chose so that we could build our skin up really, really strong at a young age. And I joke that my mother was my twin flame because she is to this day the continued single source of all my growth. I don't want to say all my growth, but like so much of my growth stems from the, what I see in my mind, blasphemies of her behavior. You know, and I try to stay quiet about it, but this is my truth. This is my truth. And she's healing. She's on her path. There's no shade in that. What I have a problem with is when there has been a disconnect from her to be able to get to me. My place had a literal fobbed building, and no one in my family had access to get into my building. There is a very specific reason. I never wanted them to have a day where they're in a mood and decide that they wanted to project that mood onto me so they would just show up. No, no, no. We don't do that here. We have boundaries. So flash forward to this morning. Now, I haven't talked to my mother in almost 6 months because I found out that she was placing a narrative onto me that did not share my character. And that was a narrative that she was telling my entire family. Now, I'm not someone that has a lot of social media. I log on to my family Facebook maybe once every 6 months, say, hey guys, how you doing? I'm still alive. Love you guys. Okay, bye. Literally. Well, because that was my everyday behavior, or that my consistent behavior with Facebook, my mother was able to place a narrative about me to everyone that used to know me as that person. So, and just to let you guys know where this narrative lies with my mom, I am 32 years old. I have a child of my own. I have transcended so much darkness that any normal mother who's not dealing with their own healing would be like, fuck yeah, that's my child. That's a boss. That child right there is doing things for the world. That was never my mother. Where other parents raised their children, I was given a mother who spent every day lowering me and then telling me all the reasons as to why I deserve to be lowered. Think about that for a second. Think about being a way shower, a light worker, and having the main person in your life. See, when I chose this, it was my when I chose this, I chose everyone as a prime character for my growth. And this just shows that we're source creators and that we chose what we're receiving and what we're getting here, because I'm a genius. Seeing the mother that I have been given, that I've chosen, just shows my genius and the fact that I wanted to fast track this growth. Yay! We're going to talk about how I have taken so many psychology classes. I have learned about so much about myself, thinking that it was me that was the problem. Alas, knowledge is power. Knowledge of self is self-empowerment. So not knowing that I was doing all of these researching, trying to find, I was literally looking under every rug, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Why am I getting these behaviors? It's got to be me. It's totally got to be me. Well, here's the kicker. It's not always you, okay? You will get to a point where you have transcended these darknesses, and now it is the person that you're triggering to transcend their darkness so that they no longer project onto you. The problem is a lot of time they are unaware of their projection. Case in point, yeah, I am definitely throwing my mother under the bus, and if she watches this, sorry. I actually know I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry that you need to hear this and that I am apparently the teacher now. So here we go. If my mother sees this, it's for a reason. So I go downstairs and I'm like, literally, so I'm fixing my, this is ridiculous. I'm a Libra, leave me alone. I'm like, what's going on, right? Like I'm not awake, and my family turns around and they're like, no, I'm sorry. Oh shit, sorry, we woke you up. My mother giggles, looks to my grandfather and goes, oh, I guess she can hear us. So you knew I was asleep. You were aware. You chose to come here. I'm fairly sure we talked last night, by the way. And I don't talk to this woman very often, but I talk to her when it comes to my nephews and my nieces. And that's kind of what was happening, is that I needed to contact her for other things outside of herself. And she doesn't like that. She wants it to always be her. Narcissist, right? Am I right? So, and by the way, being able to point out a narcissist does not mean that I'm a narcissist. It means that I have transcended the abuse of a narcissist, and I can point it out. I can literally go, two of them over there. I don't even need to speak to them. It's an energy. So as an empath, an energy worker, yeah, I'm going to call out a narcissist on their bullshit because no one else is doing it. Why? Because they gaslight. They act like they don't know what they're doing when they know damn well what they're doing to you. They know damn well what they're doing and they enjoy it. That's what they get off on. That's why we don't allow this behavior. That's why we step up to the plate when no one else will step up for us, and we say, this is not right. This is narcissistic abuse. Abuse. And I'm not going to allow it. Now, what happens after that? It was meant to happen. But what comes from that is your unwavering self-love. And now I will say again, if you are someone that has been like me, that has literally got a light so bright, people have to put sunglasses on when your ass walks in the room, and it's just always been like that for you. Hey, boo-boo, what's up? welcome to the club. You had a parent or someone in your life that lowered you when they were placed there solely to help raise you, and you were not given that love. It is time to step into your power today, right now, and give that love to yourself. Do you want to know why? Because we live in a mirrored universe, meaning if you allow that behavior, you are going to get more of that behavior because you are teaching people how to treat you. And it doesn't matter if they agree with you. It doesn't matter if they get mad or sad. Who gives a fuck? Because you're stepping on my soul right now, and it's not okay. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, guys, because that happened in a big way. Literally, I had 2 hours. I'm on 2 hours of sleep, so I'm a little intense right now because I wasn't able to go back to sleep. I am an Arcturion, okay? Our Arcturians don't really sleep. We do what we need to do. We get it in really quick, and then we wake up again. So if we're up, we go to sleep and we get up, it's done for. It's done for. We have shit we need to do. And that's basically where I was at. Like, my eyes hurt right now. I'm going, oh my, I've got 2 hours of sleep and I have so many things that I need to do for the collective and for myself that everything got thrown off kilter today. And I had to say fuck it to everything I normally do and just go with whatever I felt. And that was the only way I was able to get back into my energy. And like I said, I'm still intense right now. But you know what? I spoke my truth. I spoke my truth, and what needed to be said was said. So here I am. All of my chakras, they're good because I spoke my truth. So if you have somebody that's doing this to you, okay, an example would be, she knows my schedule. She came to pick up something she definitely wasn't going home to you 2 hours after I went to bed, knowing it was about probably 2 hours after I went to bed, and brought my 2-year-old nephew and said, run amok, knowing I was sleeping. That's a narcissist. They do it because they can. They don't care. There is no attachment to another human's emotion and the outcome of what that may be or what that may do. So it's up to you, starseeds, empaths, light workers, way showers. It's up to you and you alone. You decide if what others are giving you is what you want. And if you don't like it, you disallow it right the fuck now. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I love you guys. I want you to remember that you are worthy of everything that you have ever wanted. Everything that you want is coming to you. Everything you are seeking is seeking you. All you need to remember is that what you're seeing isn't real. And it's what you choose to see that creates it. So if you had a day like me and you woke up to this bullshit like I did, choose to see what you want until you're realigned. And fuck how they feel about it, because they put you out of your peace. I'm a Libra. You don't put us out. You don't get us out of our balance. You don't do that. No. So if they did that to you, who cares about how they feel? Because now you have to step out of your regular normal day to realign. Now, I want to place out there too that these things, these necessities to realign don't just happen for no reason. Okay. When these people come to us and they have us where we're like, I'm so zen. I'm chilling. And they come in and 2 seconds later, you're like, that's an opportunity for you to heal. What is this teaching me? Oh, wow, that wasn't healed. Because something is not going to trigger us unless it resonates with us somewhere in that vicinity. So take the time to go, why did that just trigger me? Beyond the fact that it's a complete bullshit behavior, okay? We're gonna pass that. That's an obvious trigger. But when we delve deeper, what is the underlying trigger for that? And that's all I want to talk about. Your body is a vehicle for your soul, so I hope that you drive yourselves well, my friends. Namaste.